Greetings and welcome to today's edition of Faith Issues, Wednesday, first week of Advent. I would like us to make a journey from scarcity to abundance while reflecting on the Gospel of Matthew 15, 29 to 37 and Isaiah 25, 6 to 10. In a world often marked by scarcity, be it resources, hope, or opportunities, the transformative journey from scarcity to abundance is both profound and essential. The narratives in Matthew 15, 29 to 37 and Isaiah 25, 6 to 10 offer powerful insights into this journey, revealing how faith, compassion, and communal action can lead to miraculous outcomes. In Nigeria, as in many parts of the world, the reality of scarcity is palpable. Families struggle with limited resources, communities face economic hardship, and many are caught in the cycles of poverty and unrest. This backdrop of scarcity can lead to feelings of despair, isolation, and hopelessness. It is within this context that the promise of abundance becomes particularly interesting. First and foremost, let's reflect on Isaiah's vision of abundance as portrayed in the first reading. That very passage presents a breathtaking vision of God's future provision, a lavish banquet for all peoples rich with food and drinks, signifying God's ultimate care and generosity. This image of a feast is not merely about physical nourishment. It symbolizes spiritual fulfillment and the end of suffering. God promises to wipe away tears and remove the shroud of death that envelops humanity. In this prophetic vision, we see a radical shift from scarcity to abundance, where every person is invited to partake in God's grace. But then, how can we concretize this prophetic vision? The miraculous feeding by our blessed Lord in the gospel narrative offers us a beautiful answer to that. Here, our blessed Lord encounters a multitude of people in need, lame, blind, dumb, and hungry, who have gathered to hear him. After healing them, he turns his attention to their physical hunger. The disciples express their concern about feeding such a large crowd with limited resources, just 7 loaves and a few small fish. In this moment, we see a pivotal truth, and that is, before the miracle of multiplication can occur, something must be offered at the table. Our blessed Lord takes these mega offerings, gives thanks, performs a miracle that satisfies 4,000 people. This act illustrates a fundamental principle, which is, when we present our scarcity to Jesus, he can transform it into abundance. Against this backdrop, therefore, there are 4 steps towards this journey of scarcity to abundance. The first step in this journey is recognizing our own scarcity. In our lives, whether it's financial struggle, emotional challenge, or spiritual dryness, acknowledging these needs is crucial. Like the disciples, we may feel overwhelmed by the enormity of the task before us and question how our limited resources can make a difference. The possibility of such difference is found in the second step, and that is offering what we have to God. Here, we could observe that Jesus' miracle begins with the disciples bringing what little they have to him. This act of offering is essential. In our context, it may mean offering our talents, our time, our limited resources or financial contributions. The act of giving, even when it feels insufficient, opens the door of God's transformative power to work in our lives and our communities. Well, another task is added to this, and that is trusting in God's provision. No wonder the feelings of 4,000 illustrates that God can multiply our efforts beyond what we can imagine. When we place our trust in Him, believing that He can turn our scarcity into abundance, we align ourselves with His divine purpose. This trust is not passive. It compels us to act, to engage, and to continue offering what we have. Offering what we have in this context, therefore, is not just to God, but also to the community. And that brings us to the last step, which is embracing community. Permit me to say here that both the prophetic vision of Isaiah and the Gospel of Matthew emphasize the importance of community. Isaiah's banquet is for all peoples, and Jesus feeds a multitude. In our country, Nigeria, fostering a sense of community can help transform scarcity into abundance. When we come together, pooling our resources and sharing our burdens, we create an enabling environment where abundance can flourish and trend. Following from the above, therefore, the journey from scarcity to abundance is not merely a theoretical concept. It is a lived reality that we are invited to embrace. In the face of our challenges, we can find hope in the promises of Isaiah and the actions of our blessed Lord. As we acknowledge our needs and bring our offerings to God, let us remember that He is able to multiply our efforts, turning our scarcity into abundance. In doing so, we not only experience His provision, but also become instruments of His grace in a world that is desperately in need of Him. Let me end with this. In a nation like Nigeria, where the contrast between scarcity and abundance are stark, let us hold fast to the vision of Isaiah and the miracles of Jesus. Together, may we cultivate a spirit of generosity, a spirit of trust, and a spirit of community, allowing the transformative power of God to shape our lives and the lives of those around us. The journey from scarcity to abundance is possible, not just for ourselves, but for the entire community, as we collectively respond to God's call to share in His feast. God bless you.